Hey everyone, Griffin here, and this is my first tutorial. I'm sorry about the poor lighting. I just painted my room today, and so it's a lot darker than I expected. Anyway, this tutorial is how to install more RAM on a MacBook Pro. This is a 15-inch late 2011 model, and I went from 4 to 8 gigabytes of RAM. So I went on Amazon and looked for my particular model and read some reviews, and I'm using the Kingston model. And so I mainly upgraded because I wanted to start doing playthroughs or let's plays. So in order for video game editing or video editing in general, I wanted to be able to have my computer running smoothly. And so with big programs like that, having more RAM is definitely going to be beneficial. But what a lot of people seem to not know is you can do it yourself, and you can do it pretty easily too. So I got these. These are the Kingston, and they were about, I'd say, $43. And so you can get it pretty cheap. I think a lot of people are afraid to do it themselves, especially when you don't really have too much experience with this. I know I didn't. And so I'm just going to use the tutorial that Apple has on their website, but I thought it might be a little bit easier if I showed you in a video rather than pictures. So to start out, I've turned off the computer. I have unplugged everything that I had originally plugged in. So I'm going to unscrew these. I'm using some very small screwdrivers. These are going to be Phillips head, and according to Apple, there are 3 long screws here, and the rest are short screws. So you want to keep track of them. I'm doing this on my bed, so that way I'm not messing up the front or scratching my Mac, and as opposed to being on my desk. So I'm going to unscrew the screws pretty fast right now and speed up the video so that way it won't be too boring. Okay, now that I've unscrewed all of those, I'm going to take off the top of the case. Now keep in mind to keep track of all of your screws. And so I'm going to take off the case and just set it to the side. Now Apple says to touch a metal surface to discharge any static electricity that you might have. So I'm just going to lay my finger down on this, and I don't feel anything, so I'm going to go on to the next step. Okay, now this is the RAM. This is what you're going to be changing. So what the tutorial says is to find these little notches right here. This is what's holding it in place. So I'm going to take these and push them outward, and just like that the RAM chip popped up. So I'm going to just pull that right out. Nice and easy. And I'm going to set that to the side and do the same with the other one. Okay, now I've gotten both of them out. Now the next part is installing my new RAM. Okay, now I've got my new RAM, and I want to be careful not to touch the gold edge right here. So I'm going to just, here, let me focus this again. I'm going to take this and slide it down very carefully into the gold slot. And it's pretty easy to feel. So I'm going to take 2 fingers now and just push very gently but yet firm down until you feel just a click. That lets you know that it's in place. So I'm going to do the same with the other one, right on top. Just nice and easy. And I think they're both in. So now the next step is just pretty much putting everything back on. Alright, and we're done. The only thing that I will say, these screws are very small, and so A, don't lose them, and B, they can be a huge pain to take on and off. Like, I can't tell you how many times my screwdriver slipped while trying to put them back on, so just be careful of that. Otherwise, this is pretty easy, and pretty much anyone can do it. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching.